Boston is the most innovative city in the country. You can forget about the Valley, you can forget about New York. Boston is so innovative because of the constant infusion of youth. You have a constant flow of college students and university students, and that's not just undergrads, that's grad students and PhDs and everyone who comes in and is trying to do new things and great things with their lives. Some of the world's first universities, or rather some of the area's first universities, the country's first and greatest institutions were founded in Boston and stay in Boston. We have the #1 college for entrepreneurship in the world. We have the #1 college overall in the world, the #1 college for science and technology in the world. And all of these are coming together to find each other and help students find each other through the use and because of the innovation of technology. There were a couple of turning points in my career. I think the first turning point was about 5 years ago when I came up with the idea, and I was in a restaurant and said, I'm waiting and I just got a text from my friend, but I have to babysit this plastic piece of junk. Why can't I just get a text when my table's ready? And sort of have been formulating the idea from there. Another major turning point was when I made the decision to leave my job and go full-time back in the end of 2009. I said, this is an idea that has legs and I need to see where it goes. And then the third turning point was meeting my partner, Dan, my co-founder, who has just really helped me to think about the business in different ways and take it to that level that I know it could, or towards that level that I know it can get to. For marketing right now, we're trying to do a number of different things. The first thing that we're always trying to do is just get out there in the community and learn from restaurants. And we do that, of course, by going to eat at restaurants and talking to them and experiencing the pain point that we're trying to solve. Obviously, we're trying to solve a pain point for the restaurants, but you can directly see how that impacts the experience and creates a pain point for the restaurant patrons. We're also doing marketing by writing articles that go into trade industry publications. So we've been featured on a couple of restaurant industry websites. We are also doing something which we feel is kind of innovative. It's within the framework of the concept of flipping the funnel. We have marketing cards that we give to our biggest fans, and we ask them to take those cards and give them to restaurants when they experience a long wait, and let those restaurants know that they're not happy with that wait. They may actually leave, and that there is in fact that pain point for the restaurant. Right now, the aspect of my business that I'm focusing the most on is business development, and that's not just sales, although it's primarily sales, but it's also finding partners and different methods of distribution that really enable me as one person to suddenly reach hundreds of restaurants in a week instead of dozens of restaurants in a week. I'm also very focused on raising money, which is something that obviously in order to grow you need capital, and while bootstrapping is great and we'd love to be able to do so, we don't know that we can grow at the rate that we really want to grow without taking in some capital. But really sales and business development are my primary goal right now. If I could give one piece of advice to somebody looking to start their business right now, it would be go out and learn, but also go out and do. You've got to be doing both simultaneously. You can't learn everything there is to know about running a company before you start, but you can't just build in a vacuum without talking to customers and without talking to mentors. I would say you go out and you find yourself 1 or 2 mentors and 1 or 2 collaborators and 1 or 2 customers, and all of a sudden you'll have your own little system of feedback so that you can take an idea from the customer or the potential customer, take that to a mentor and say, I have this idea from them, what do you think? And then take that from the mentor to your partner and just get that whole closed loop feedback system, and then bring your ideas into the open feedback system that Boston has, the event system and the mentorship system, everything that Boston is doing to help entrepreneurs to grow and succeed, and bring those ideas into that area. The people who've mentored me personally have a very diverse, very broad background. They've been anywhere from multi-time entrepreneurs who are doing quite well for themselves and are now angel investors who've really, without even investing, taken me under their wing and said, we feel that you have potential and here are the things that you need to do to succeed. I've gotten some great mentorship from some restaurants, from owners and general managers and folks involved in the restaurant business, even people up in chains who've said, we love this idea and we'd really like to see it succeed. Why don't we help you take that idea to the next level? And then there have just been some really great people in the business ecosystem of Boston who've been incredibly helpful at helping me to formulate what is a business, how do I form that business, how do I best run that business. Everything from sort of the broad strokes down to what does it mean to hire an employee, what are the thoughts that need to go into that. Right now I am reading The Art of the Start by Guy Kawasaki, The Ultimate Sales Machine by a guy who's really good at sales but clearly not good at making me remember his name. And I'm also reading pretty much anything I can get my hands on Google Reader, which is probably about 2 or 3 dozen blogs, just giving me the opportunity to have a constant stream of interesting stories that feed into my EADD, which is my entrepreneur's attention deficit disorder. I used to be a PC and I always made fun of the sort of the Mac geeks till about a year and a half, 2 years ago, probably about a year and a half ago, I ended up getting an iPhone first, then a MacBook, and now an iPad, and then a Starbucks gift card, which doesn't sound like it fits in, but I always sort of thought of those as all going hand in hand. And now I'm that guy sitting in the Starbucks with his iPhone over here, his iPad over here, and his MacBook over here, and his Starbucks coffee over here.